Minute.
Please look at who's on already.
I know.
We're live, Spodioti. Good morning, DeLon.
It's the star speaker from last night.
Was that not awesome?
That was such a great. I mean, I know the story, but to hear it every time, you just go, "Oh my gosh, he did it!"
Yeah.
He did it. Life lived well, and he's still doing it.
Well, and that's. I mean, if I could be half that, right?
I know, and to look back and say, "I'm doing okay."
Yeah.
And not just to live, but to live well, not just health-wise, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, and the positivity that just oozes. It's wonderful.
Well, I think it's interesting too how somebody, his dad maybe wasn't that person in his life, but that coach was, right?
Oh,
and so that is like sometimes maybe you don't have the perfect situation at home.
Oh,
but I don't know. I think God kind of whipped in a little. Sometimes bring somebody into your life to be that person.
I've heard that called your spiritual family. It's who you choose to have as your family, right?
Yeah. So
tip of the day, Mr. Alan Newell.
Yes.
Tip of today, we are talking about one of my favorite topics, which is commitment. Because people say, what do I do? What do I do in this business? Well, first thing you have to do is, number one, is have a commitment. Make a commitment. And commitment, there's a guy named Webster who started this book years ago. I don't know who made him the expertise on everything, Webster's dictionary. But, it changes over time. But here's the deal. Making a commitment involves dedicating yourself to something, like a person or a cause. Before you make a commitment, think carefully. A commitment obligates you to do something. Webster says the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, etc. The company's commitment to quality. So when I read the company's commitment to quality, Eddie is committed to providing us quality products. Can you imagine getting a bottle of CBD oil and it tastes like crap? And you go, what happened to the mint flavor? And he goes, well, they were running a little short, so we figured what the hell, we wouldn't put it in this time. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
An engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. Think about that. Business commitments or commitments to other people, and here's some of the words that go with it. Here, let me get over here to the screen and hide this little thing. I don't like getting in my way. Dedication, devotion, allegiance, allegiance, loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, responsibility, obligation, duty, tie, charge, liability, burden. Here's the deal. Commitment. So I saw this and I like this too. Commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it's left. When you make a commitment, so often we fall in this trap, being excited and motivated, in the moment. But when that disappears, we lose our commitment. And commitment creates trust. If you want people to trust you, you stick with your commitment. Our goals will only be reached when we understand it's during our most frustrating times where we make a bigger difference and we grow. Anyone can continue when they're feeling good and when it's easy, but it's the 1% mindset that keeps pursuing. So check this out. I want to talk about a 40 plus, and I don't know exactly, she's over 40-year-old, single mother of 3 teenage boys, and a 2-year transition that she made. Okay. She made a commitment to herself. And at the same time of making this commitment to herself to be in the best shape, her goal was, hey, I not only want to get in great shape, but I want to be able to go out on stage and compete with the best. And she set a 2-year timeline. Now, at the same time, let me explain to you, she's got 3 teenage boys. One of them is a special needs child who requires commitment from her. She's a single mother, not a 50-50, this is it. She's the one. She carries the full burden. But she made a commitment to herself, but she also had a commitment to her family, to her 3 boys. So here she is into this commitment. If you look at this picture here, she's like, hey, I'm on the roll. I'm going to go. Now we look at that and say, wow, look at that difference. Look at how amazing she looks. Look how much weight she's lost. Look how much in great shape she is. But you see, that was not her goal. That was not her goal. Her goal was to compete with the best. And in a 2-year period of time, this 40-plus-year-old single mother of 3 teenage boys, one of them special needs, her working 2 jobs, sometimes 3, to make things happen and provide for her kids. Not only did she 2 years later walk out on stage and compete, she won the national title. The national title. And this lady is none other than our own Jessie Ostrowski.
Yep.
Jessie is part of our Touchstone family. She's an influencer for our Touchstone. And she promotes our products and she promotes our way of life. That is commitment. I reached out to Jessie this morning and she was not able to join us here on the call. I was hoping she was going to, but it was last minute. And I get that. I understand that because she had previous commitments.
Mm-hmm.
You with me? So the question is, so when if you look at that picture on the left and you say, this is her 2 years prior to the picture on the right, and she had a dream, she had a goal, she had a vision. But not only did she have a dream, a goal, and a vision, she had lots of reasons that she could have used as excuses. Had she stopped in the middle right here, having 3 teenage boys, one of them special needs, having multiple seizures a day, having surgeries in and out of the hospital, constantly having problems. If she stopped right there, would anybody feel like she failed? No. But she would have. She would have known I did not do my best. I did not reach my goal. I did not achieve what I set out to achieve. And I was blessed to go to Wisconsin and work with her and talk to her, her enthusiasm, her excitement. DeLon's story reminds me of her. You don't hear her complain about her life. You don't hear, not once. I spent 3 days with her up there working with her and Lisa. Not once did I hear her complain about being a single mother. Not once did I complain about her having to work 2 and 3 jobs. In order to meet with her, I had to go to one of her jobs to meet with her.
Yeah.
Not once did she complain about having a special needs child. Not once did I hear her complain about money. Not once. She was committed. And she achieved her goal. Now, she's maintained this too. So my question to you is, people say, what do I do in this business? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to do a commitment. We put this weekly report card out 4 months ago, I think it was. And we said, here it is. Here's what you need to do. And all you have to do each week is look at your weekly report card and put a number over there. Put a number in this block. Put a number in this block. See, first thing you want to do on Sunday night, as most of us do, is set a goal. So you could put over here what your goal is. How many people do I add to my contact list? You can put a number here. How many new people will I share my BBO page and videos with? You can now add on here, how many samples will I give away of CBD oil? How many times do I personally do a business presentation to someone who's looking for the business opportunity this week? How many new people did I enroll this week? What's my goal? And how many new member orientations did I host this week for my new members? You see, this is our business. This is the difference in success and failure. This is the difference in 2 years ago and going and getting here in the middle and going, well, that's good enough. You see, when Lisa Hatch said years ago, or not years ago, months ago, hey, you do you. You see, this in the middle is a lot of people's goal. That's this is my goal, and they would reach that and they'd be tickled to death. And that may be your goal. Your goal may be to lose 10 pounds. Very few people. I told Jesse, I said, Jesse, I love your message. Now you got to be careful with that message because very few people have this goal. You know what I mean? But a lot of people have this goal. And so the story for her is commitment, you see. So what is your commitment to you, to yourself, to your business, and to your family? It varies. It varies. You see, there's no numbers on here. The numbers are up to you. The numbers are your numbers. I don't set your numbers. You set your numbers. So if you're committed to building a business, you got to ask yourself, how committed am I? You know, we made a commitment to do a live for the month of May every day at 11 o'clock. And every day when y'all tune in, here we are. Mm-hmm. Here we are every day. You know, we made a commitment. And so we're following through with our commitment. And so you just need to ask yourself, what's my commitment and how committed am I? Am I committed when it feels good? Am I committed when it's easy? Am I committed when it's time allows? Am I committed when, you know, I'm working with a trainer and a couple of others of us are too that have joined on the train. And this trainer, and I said this like last night on the training call or maybe yesterday at 11 o'clock, he made a commitment to himself 10 years ago. 10 years. That's 3,650 days. How many days in a year? 365. 3,650 days ago. Is that right? 10 times 365. Yeah. That he was going to do a live video every day. That included his birthday. That included his wedding day. That included the day that he had his daughter was born. That included the day that his son was born. That included the day that he woke up sick and had the flu. That included the day that he was like, whew, I am not in the mood to do a live video today. But he's not missed a day. And he's a multi seven-figure income earner. Why? Because he's committed. So my tip for the day is, how committed are you? That's the question. How committed are you? We got 3 minutes, ladies. Thoughts?
It's so funny. Well, you know what? I think that commitment too is something you have to grow, right? If you feel like you failed a little bit, you got to walk through some things. I think when I look at people that are successful, they do have that commitment piece, right? I mean, I look at the people that have continually successfully kind of risen in their industry, whether it was business or it was being a coach or whatever. And I think it's all about adjustment, right? And be committed in one part of your life, but don't overcommit there that you lose your balance. So that's kind of a little bit of I think that gentleman that he's talking about, Alan, he's awesome. But you know what? That commitment he made was literally maybe a 10-minute commitment in a day, right? It wasn't 3 hours of his day, and it wasn't that, hey, I've got to go and you can't see me. He has his kids right there sometimes. And right, so it isn't, anyway, I think commitment can be designed to fit in, and it doesn't have to feel like work, doesn't have to feel like pressure. I think that it's a character that needs to be built. And when you have that, you feel so good about yourself. You did it. You said what you did what you said you were going to do. And so I love it. And I think it's, and there's so many things that goes with it. It's growing, it's learning, it's being committed, it's watching successful people, it's reading. It's a lot of things that builds that muscle that says, that's going to be me. Yeah.
And I think it's important and I love that. That's so spot on, Jana, because you do have to make commitments to your family, and you do have to but I think more than anything is as we grow a team, and we're a team here, you know, it's all a volunteer army.
Yeah.
When you make a commitment to somebody else,
yes,
You know, when I make a commitment to you, Jana, for us to have a coaching call today at 2:00,
I'm there.
I'm there. I made the commitment to you. I said I'll be there at 2:00. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
Yep.
You know, and so when you make a commitment to somebody else, a promise is a
What's
promise.
that, Lisa?
Make a promise, keep a promise.
That's right.
Keep your word.
That's right. That's
No,
right.
that both of what you guys both said is so spot on, and it's like a lot of things. It's contagious, and it transfers into all areas. If you're committed in your work life, then you more than often will be committed in your personal life. If you're committed in your personal life, more often you'll be committed in your financial life. If you're more financial life, spiritual life, like it just kind of just goes all the way around.
It's called balance. Yeah.
Very much.
It's a great place.
Love for you to comment in the comment sections if this was valuable, if you liked it, what you learned from it. Please, we love seeing your comments. Was it valuable to you? What did you like about it? What did you learn from it? So comment on there and let us know whether you're watching live or on the replay.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're at 8:16, so we're just a minute late. Well done, Ellen.
Have a great Thursday.
Okay.
Love
Bye.
you guys.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.